Good morning, everyone. I would like to start with Whispers from Eternity, a beautiful poem called Make Me a Lion of Thy All-Conquering Wisdom. I, a lion cub of the Divine Mother, found myself thrown into life among the sheep of human frailties, of fear, failure, and disease. Living long among them, I learned to bleed with weakness, forgetting my lion nature and its roars, which could frighten away all petty, pestering sorrows. O Lion of Realization, thou didst drag me away from those bleating sheep to the mirror-smooth waters of meditation. There didst thou cry, gaze. But I held my eyes rightly shut, bleating with fear. Thy roar of wisdom then reverberated through my body. Thou madest me, by heart shaking and spiritual urging, open my eyes, and there, lo, in the crystal pool of my inner peace, I saw my features to be even as thy own. Now I know myself as the lion of cosmic power. I will bleed no more with fear, weakness, and suffering, for I roar now with vibrant, almighty power. I bound about through the forest of all experiences, seizing little creatures of waxing worries, timid fears, and wild hyenas of disbeliefs, devouring them ruthlessly. O Lion of Immortality, roar through me thy all-conquering power of wisdom. Good morning, everyone, again. It's a joy to see all beautiful, shining faces supporting me, because this is my first talk. I had so many people sending me messages and love, and I'm so grateful to be part of this family in God and Guru. I want to start sharing a story. It's my favorite story. I hope you are going to like it, and maybe somebody already knows this story. It's from a later rendition of the Ramayana. And this is the story of Lord Rama, an incarnation of God on earth that wanted to build a bridge between India and the island of Lanka. And this was because his spouse, Sita, also an incarnation of the divine, but she was taken away from the demons, and so he wanted her back. So he called his most devoted disciple, Hanuman. He was strong. His body was powerful. He was half man, half monkey, and he had a big army of monkeys. And so you can imagine what they did. They were flying with devotion, with power, bringing mountains, bringing big stones in the air to build this bridge for Rama. In the scene, there was a little squirrel. He loved Rama, and he really wanted to participate to make the will of Rama happen. But he looked at himself. I am a squirrel. I have a fluffy tail. I'm not very strong. What can I do? And he had an idea. I'm going to go in the water, make myself wet, roll into the sand, run where they are building, and shake the sand away. And so he did, again and again and again and again, for hours, for days, until his body was bleeding, until he was exhausted, but nothing could stop him. Meanwhile, the army of monkey noticed this little guy and thought, what fool, what useless action is doing just for a little bit of sand. And everybody was a little bit teasing him. They were taking joke of him. But Lord Rama, who was omniscient, he sensed, he heard, he saw in his eye this little squirrel and wanted to see him. So he sent a messenger to speak with him. And the messenger said, Lord Rama wants to meet with you. The squirrel very politely answered, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm very busy. I am a little squirrel. I'm just not doing very much, so I can't really leave my job and come. Say sorry to Rama, I can come. So Rama decided to go to visit him. And when he arrived, he took him in his hands and said, I'm so touched for what you did. This pleased me very much. All your dedication, all your love, it's very touching to me. And the squirrel was very surprised. He actually had tears in his eyes and said, but my Lord, I did so little. Look at Hanuman. Look at all the army, what they're doing. I just moved few pebbles. And I just want to say with the words that are correct because they're too beautiful. So he said, I am just a squirrel. Please forgive me for not doing more. Rama smiled and blessed him. He stroked the squirrel's back with 3 fingers, making 3 white lines. And said, you have done more than enough. When done with love, no act is ever small. And so until this day in India, the squirrels, maybe I can be corrected by Murali, they have 3 white lines on their back, and it's a beautiful symbol. So how high should we aspire? Is that about how great are our actions outwardly in our life? Is it really about what we are doing, or is about what we are becoming through what we are doing? Is about how big, or is about the consciousness behind what we are doing? It's very interesting. I recently heard a talk by Swami Kriyananda, and he was saying, we have built Ananda to keep us busy. And he said it a little bit jokingly, but also with truth. He said, the reason Ananda is not important, what we have become through Ananda, through building Ananda, is important. Our consciousness is important. And said from him that many of you know him, he has accomplished so much. And he always said, I feel like a little squirrel, he said a little mouse running on the stage when people introduce me, because I've done so much. I have published so many books. I have done 400 pieces of music. I have founded communities. I have expressed the teachings of those masters really to apply it in all parts of lives and so on and so forth. I have done so much, but this is dust for me. The only thing that really mattered for me was, did I really do the will of God? Did I really, where I really be, was I really be, have I been a good disciple? How high should we aspire? How does it look like, our highest aspiration? There is this beautiful quote from the Gita in the reading saying, all is Vasudev. All is Vasudev. Everything is God. God is in me. God is in you. God is in everything. And there is a beautiful story that my husband just shared yesterday night, I believe. about the great saint Ananda Moima, called the Mother Permeated with Joy. And it was a day where she was giving a satsang, and the room was packed with people. And everybody was really like pressing to each other. There was no space, even against Ananda Moima. So there was really no space. And one of her disciples noticed that and said, "Ma, are you uncomfortable in this situation?" And Ma very blissfully answered, "I am in this body, I am in their bodies, and I am in the space in between. I am in this body, I am in their bodies, and I am in the space in between." All is God, all is Vasudev. And where I wanted to go with this, let's see. Let me see. Okay. How can we achieve this unity with God? How can we experience in our daily life that we are one? Because it's through this connection that healing occurs. You know, Swami Sri Yukteswar said that we all suffer of the same disease. Do you know which one? It's spiritual amnesia. We have forgotten who we are, and we all trying to heal. And so how we can create this connection with the greater healer and between each other, to see the divinity between each other, that's where the joy is, that's where our treasure is. This is what the masters tell us, is from this connection. First, I think we have to realize that we are all already in a good place if we are here. I don't know who made this example, but I really like it, that we have been on a journey of realization, realizing the truth of our own being, realizing this oneness. And on this journey, it's like to go from maybe Naples in Italy to New York. And it was a very long journey. But if we are here, and we know that God is not where we looked before, outside ourselves. If we are here, we know that God is inside. It means that we are already in the periphery of New York, that we already are very close to the destination. And I think this is a very important thing to practice every day, that God, that freedom is close. It's not far away. It's really close. At the beginning of the spiritual path, I was going to Abbruzzese, where we have a retreat center there. And so I spent first a week, then I spent more. But at the beginning, I was learning meditation. And I remember the teacher one day said, "Today, meditate as this is the meditation before you find God. This is the meditation where you are going to experience samadhi. Meditate like this." And for me, that meditation was very deep. And I think it's partly because at the beginning, we don't have all these thoughts, oh, it's difficult, oh, it's hard, it takes so much, you know. We are more open, like kids. We just go for it. And so that for me, and I'm sure that for you, I'm sure that some of you, or maybe many of you, had this experience how the mind was able either to block you or to empower you, to help you to do something so much better, so much greater, just because you believed in yourself, just because you believed that that could be true. So we have to, the first step, I think, is that we have to believe that we are children of God, that is with us every moment, that is in our own self, is always there, and He is loving us. So we are children of the light. And in our daily life, we don't experience that. We still, even though we know that we want God, we still have cross currents. One energy wants God, and the other energy wants dinner. One energy wants to really, really love that person. The other energy gets super upset that as soon as the person just say a word. So we have those cross currents because we still have, Yogananda said, subconscious pulls that pull us outside ourselves to find fulfillment outside ourselves. What do? There is a beautiful story from the Native Americans. I don't know which tribe, I forgot, but this story is very beautiful about a child talking with his grandpa. And the child said, I feel that there are two energies in me. One energy, he wants to bring me toward spirit. One energy is giving me happiness. One energy is an energy of love, of kindness, of purity. The other energy is dark. He's trying to pull me out, is make me angry, is make me fearful. And the grandpa said, yes, in each one of us there are two wolves. One is trying to bring you toward the light, and one is holding you away from the light. But Grandpa, who is going to win? Well, the one that you feed. And so a beautiful thing that a beautiful truth is that we don't have to beat up the darkness with a stick. We have to increase the light. So how can we focus on the light in ourselves? How can we try our best every day to do that? So I just collected a few practical tips here. One thing is we have this ideal of perfection. I want to love everyone. I want to serve God in everyone. I want to be happy, this beautiful idea. And then the other part is self-honesty. Where do I actually are with this? Yogananda said we are all diamonds, but covered with some mud, let's say if we are already on the spiritual path. The light always shines. But where there is the mud, it's not shining on those parts of ourselves. So it's like it's shining, but not on all parts of ourselves. So we need to be honest and just see this. The tricky part is that when we are honest, we start to focus on what we can do. We start again to go into the ego, into the contraction, and forgetting that we are not that. So we are starting to identify with the mud, with our car, let's say, that is driving us around. And we think, oh my God, the car broke. Oh, I feel terrible. So no, you just have to repair it, right? So we want to be honest, but also gentle with ourselves. Swami Kriyananda said, define yourself only in the base of your highest aspirations. Define yourself only on the base of your highest aspiration. Don't think yourself anything less. He even said, think that you are going to be free in this life. In this life, any other thought is not useful. So what it tells to me is that this is a shift of focus, a continuous shift of focus from the bad wolf that wants to say you are small, you're limited, you can't do it, to shifting your focus on I can do it, or actually I can't do it, but God and I can do miracles, right? So we always want to be honest, but also recognize that through our will, we're not going to make this. We're not going to be able to overcome or to reach our aspirations. It's God's grace that is going to help us. And so all the work that we do is actually a way to open up to that grace. There is, we practice Ananda Yoga here, and it's a style of Hatha Yoga where we work with the body, the mind, and we have great benefits at that level. But then it's Ananda Yoga it's a way to align our being, align our energies, so that we can receive the experience of God, so that we can align our will with God's will, with God's consciousness. So it's our life is the same. We want to put ourselves, use our will, but to put ourselves in the position of receiving that grace, to be held by that grace. So always identified with the best in yourself. See what you have to learn and work willingly. Try your best. Be gentle with yourself. And then, this is not less important, meditate. Yogananda gave great importance to meditation. To find God, we have to create these moments where we can commune with Him. We have to calm our heart, calm our mind, to call on His presence. And we have Kriya Yoga here. We teach Kriya Yoga, and he said Kriya Yoga is the highway for self-realization. It can bring you there very quickly. But interesting enough, he said, practices are important. But what is really important is that this inner communion with God becomes an attitude of the mind. That throughout your day, you practice, I am with God. God is doing this through me. God, help me. What do you think about this? That's our job. There are two, in the spiritual path, there are two directions of energy. In meditation, we go inward and upward to commune with God. In our daily life, it's sort of the opposite. We ask God to flow through us to other people, so that we are blessed by what it flows through us, and our diamond gets purified and cleaned the more we do. So recently, I want to talk about this aspect. Recently, my son had a little accident at school. He basically crashed his finger inside a very heavy door. And so my husband called me while I was driving, telling me that they were going to the emergency room. Maybe he needed surgery. Maybe he would lose his nail. Maybe. I didn't know exactly what was happening. And so we end the conversation, and as I was driving, I tried to practice what I was going to tell you today. And so I said, God, may thy will be done. Make me an instrument. Send energy to my son, to the doctors, to this situation. May thy will be done. 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 And I actually felt much more power in the words, may thy will be done, than flow through me and go and heal. But this is another story. But what I want to say is that I prayed until I felt uplifted, I felt held by a presence, by a power. This is what happened when we meditate. This is an experience that probably everybody has, that the benefits of meditation is that we don't feel alone anymore. We feel a power. We are empowered. And with that power, we are able to cope with life so much better. We are able to do things we were not able to do, to speak at Sunday service, where we are frightened like a little mouse. So after praying for my son, after maybe 1 hour or so, I received the news of what it was going to happen. He was going to have a surgery and this and that. And I felt, because I aligned myself with God, with His will, that there was total trust. Total trust. This was the best thing that could have happened, that God is in charge, that He knows how to manage. And I felt total peace. And I feel that between all the things that we can do in our life, if we can do this prayer, may thy will be done. And how can I serve you? Moment by moment. It takes energy. So how can I raise my energy? How can I calm myself right now? But how can I serve you with these little pebbles that I'm moving in these little ways? How can I serve you? May thy will be done. Be with me. And at the end of the day, Swami Kriyananda mentioned to create a bonfire mentally. And so as you have prayed during the day, flow through me. You are the doer. Make me be a channel for your consciousness, for my purifications, for others. Then the results are not going to be perfect, right? So we are learning. We are on a journey of perfection. We give back everything to God. This was your making. This goes back to you and will give you a lot of peace. This is what I have experienced. A lot of peace, a lot of freedom. This is yours. So if I can leave you with one last thought, is that last Monday, it was the anniversary of Swami Kriyananda Moksha celebration. Swami Kriyananda, for who doesn't know him, it's the founder of Ananda. He was a direct disciple of Paramhansa Yogananda. And when he left his body, it was in 2013, early morning, his body was taken into the temple like this one in Assisi. And the community and people all over the world that came to celebrate his life and his freedom in God, that this was what his guru promised him, that his death would be his last sacrifice before freedom. Well, we spent 1 week meditating 24 hours in that temple. There was always somebody with him meditating. I always, before that time, had a challenge with the physical presence of Swami Kriyananda. I felt I was taking it too personally. I felt always off, always a little tense. And for me, that was an occasion, a particular occasion. There were more in the past, but it was another occasion where I could feel Swami presence even strongly without his body. It felt for me and for other people as breaking the boundaries of his body. His consciousness was actually expanding even more, to reach out more, to help us more if we were in tune. And I say this because the last point I want to make is that we need a guide that can lead us, lead our little step day by day. We need a guide that we can tune on. And that was, and that, so some people say, but Yogananda is not in his body. Swami Kriyananda is not in his body. I'm saying this because they are not dead. They are very alive. His assistant Narayani sent us a message on Monday night saying, we are celebrating his death. Well, we're not celebrating his death, his freedom, but he feels so alive, so much more present than ever is with us. And that's true. So the reason why I'm saying this is that his life is an example of what we can do in our life. It was a life dedicated to God through his guru's mission. And it doesn't matter if his guru was not in his body anymore. At the end of his life, he said, I don't know where Swami Kriyananda ends and Yogananda begins. Interesting enough, after all his accomplishments, he said, I don't really know if I really did the will of my guru. He was so humble. So this is my wish. I want to end with a wish for all of us that we can live every day, every little step as a stepping stone to build this bridge between us and God. And consciously, that in every moment we can ask, how can I raise my energy right now? How can I be a channel? How can I feel you? How can I love you more in this meditation? Without thinking about the results, but just focusing on, I want to be with you. I want to serve you. And then, as Lahiri Mashaya said, doing, one day is done. Thank you.